Engage module. Hello friends, now we start the archives from chapter current electricity, publications Engage, module number 21. The first example, the page number is 51. The first example is galvanometer has 30 divisions. Page number is 51. Galvanometer has 30 divisions and its sensitivity, that is the current sensitivity, is a 16 microampere per division. Current sensitivity means, or current sensitivity is defined as, it is a ratio of amount of current deflection, amount of current or little amount of current is flowing through a galvanometer and it shows a large deflection, then we say that galvanometer is more sensitive. There are the two types of sensitivities. One is a current sensitivity and second one is a voltage sensitivity. Current sensitivity is shown by SI and voltage sensitivity is shown by the SV. Current sensitivity is given the formula NVA upon C. Just I am revising the terms also. Current sensitivity increases by increasing number of turns, by increasing magnetic induction, by increasing area of that rectangular coil, and by decreasing the torque per unit twist or the torsional constant. And the voltage sensitivity, there is a one simple relation between current sensitivity and the voltage sensitivity. Voltage sensitivity equals to current sensitivity divided by resistance of galvanometer. Here the current sensitivity is expressed is a microampere per division. Here the micro is a one simple conversion and 1 microampere means a 10 raised to minus 6 ampere. Now there are the 30 divisions, means per division it gives a 16 microampere deflection. For 30 divisions the current equals to SI multiplied by number of divisions. Therefore the SI, its value is a 16 into 10 raised to minus 6, because microampere minus 6 multiplied by number of divisions are 30. So the total amount of current is a 16 3 480 into 10 raised to minus 6 ampere. Now this is the total amount of current. Now our galvanometer reads up to 3 volt. Then how much resistance is required? To find out the resistance, just simply use the formula V equals to I. Here the value of V is given. It is a 3 volt. Current is known. It's a 480 into 10 raised to minus 6 multiplied by this R. This is my total resistance required to convert that galvanometer. So it will be very simple. We have to find out the R. So R equals to, it's a 3 divided by 480 into 10 raised to minus 6. So if I draw in this way, nearly equals to, because the options are like this, it is nearly equals to 500 into 10 raised to minus 6. So it becomes a 3 into 5 into 10 raised to minus 4, which is nearly equals to 0.6 into 10 raised to plus 4, which is nearly equals to 6 into 10 raised to plus 3, which is nothing but 6 kilo ohm. That is a near resistance or nearest value of the resistance. It should be 6 kilo ohm, and that resistance is in terms of the series combination with the galvanometer. So the resistance required is in series combination with the galvanometer. Nearly 4 minutes are required for one example. Now the second example, voltmeters V1 and V2. From the same, voltmeters V1 and V2 are connected in series. There are two voltmeters, one is a V1 and second voltmeter is a V2. Both are connected in series. First reads 80 volt, it reads 80 volt, and second does not read. For the second, as first reads 80 volt and has a per volt resistance of 200 ohm. Per volt 200 ohm. For the first voltmeter, for 1 volt, R is 200 ohm. Means for 80 volt, the first resistance R1 equals to, 1 volt जर असेल तर 200 ओम आहे आणि 80 volt जर असेल तर 80 into 200, that is the value of R1 becomes, it becomes a 8 to the 16 and 000, that is a 16,000 ohm, that is the value of resistance. Now both are in a series combination, so one thing is clear that current is same, that is current flowing through V1 and V2, it should be same because both are in a series combination. Now how much amount of current is going? For this we are getting the value of V1 is given 80 volt, the resistance is given, it's a 16,000 okay ohm. So from these two values we have to find out the I1. So or simply I, so V1 equals to I1 into R1. So I1 equals to V1 by R1. Here my V1 is 80, R1 is about 16,000. So it gets cancels. 18 2s are 1 upon 200. Now it will be very simple. So 1 by 2 into 10 raised to minus 2. So I becomes a, it becomes a 0.5 or 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. This is my amount of current. Now I am not requiring the how much amount of current, or in my question the current is not asked. For the V2, its resistance is given. That is the resistance is 32 kilo, that is a 32,000 ohm. Current flowing through that is given, that is I is given, it's a 5 into 10 raised to minus. From this we can easily find out the V2. V2 is given by I multiplied by R2. I is 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 and this is a 32 into 10 raised to plus 3. Sorry, 32 into 10 raised to plus 3. So minus 3 plus 3 get cancelled and it becomes a 160 volt. This is the value of V2. So total resistance, total potential difference, both are in series. So V equals to V1 plus V2. That is the V1 is 80 and V2 is 160. So my answer becomes it's a 240 volt. This is my net potential difference for the for both the voltmeters. If you are not getting, then you see for this part. Okay, that is a amount of current is calculated. From amount of current we have to calculate the potential difference across the second voltmeter. Its resistance only given. First and second voltmeters are in series, so we are getting the value of V2 and V1 and V2 are in series, therefore total potential difference becomes a 240. Okay, now we see the next example. That is the third example. In the third example, a potentiometer having a potential gradient of 2 millivolt. 2 millivolt per centimeter. First of all, I am explaining the concept of potential gradient. Potential gradient, this word first time is introduced in the potential principle of potentiometer. What is the principle of potentiometer? The principle of potentiometer is very simple. Okay, principle of potentiometer is very simple. Fall of potential per unit length is called as the principle, or is always remains same. That is the principle of potentiometer. Okay, fall of potential difference per unit length is same. That is the principle of potentiometer. Fall of potential per unit length is always the same. Fall of potential per unit length is always a constant. Okay, this V by L, this term is called as the potential gradient. Now how you calculate the potential gradient? Once you get the formula, then we can easily solve the number of examples based on the potential gradient. Here V, first of all, it is clear that V is given by I multiplied by R divided by L. Here fall of potential per unit length, that is a per unit length means I am including the resistance, that is the resistance of the wire, and I am calculating the length of wire. This term is also constant. Okay, this term is always a constant. Okay. Now what? How you find out the value of I? If the I is directly given, then not a difficult one. But if I is not given, then current is emitted, current is released from one source of electricity, and that source of electricity is either a cell or a battery. If the cell is given or battery is there, then its EMF is given, and the EMF of the cell is given by current multiplied by resistance of wire plus external resistance connected in circuit plus small r, that is my internal resistance of the cell. Now from this, current is given by E divided by resistance of wire plus external resistance plus internal resistance. I am substituting the value here. Then I am getting potential gradient equals to, substituting the value of I there, it becomes a E, this divided by resistance of wire plus external resistance plus internal resistance multiplied by resistance of wire divided by length of wire, and this term is always a constant. First, remember the formula. Potential gradient is given by E, that is EMF of the cell, divided by resistance of wire plus external resistance plus internal resistance, or sometimes just we say it is a total resistance. Okay, EMF upon total resistance into resistance of wire divided by length of wire. This is a simple formula for the potential gradient. Now, just we see the third example. Directly we substitute the values. Potential gradient, a potentiometer having the potential gradient of 2 millivolt per centimeter. The value is given how much? 2 millivolt per centimeter is the value is given. Just we convert, and remaining are in centimeter or in ohm, but we convert this term in terms of SI. So millivolt is converted in SI, so it becomes a 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 millivolt to volt. Then per centimeter to meter, so it becomes a divided by 10 raised to minus 2 equals is used to measure the difference of potential across a resistance of 10 ohm. That is the value of my external resistance is of 10 ohm. If a length is a 50 centimeter, length is given 50 centimeter, so I am converting in terms of meter, so 50 into 10 raised to minus 2 of the potentiometer wire is required to get the null point. The current passing through the 10 ohm resistor is, so the resistance of wire is a 10, external resistance is also a 10, there is a no any value of the internal resistance, so we take that value as a 10 into here, the resistance of wire is a 10, and EMF is not given. Okay, EMF is not given. We have to find out the EMF of the cell first. When you get the EMF of the cell, then use the EMF of the cell. Total resistance is given. We have to find out the value of I in this example. Okay, just substituting all the terms, we can get the value of E. It will be very simple. 2 into 10 raised to minus 1, this part. E is this part. 20 is the part. And it becomes a 5 into 10 raised to minus 2. 25 is a 100. 100 means 10 raised to plus 2 minus 2. Get cancelled. If there is nothing else, there is a 1. And we are getting E equals to 0.2. Okay, substitute E equals to 0.2 here. This entire value is a 20. So 0.2 divided by 20, then we are getting the value of electric current, that is the current passing through that. Okay, and just see if you want, here the E becomes 0.2. Substituting the value of E here, 0.2 equals to I multiplied by this entire value becomes a 20. So I equals to 0.2 divided by 20, it becomes a 0.02. divided by 2, the answer becomes 0.01, means 1 into 10 raised to 1 into 10 raised to minus 2, that is a 10 into 10 raised to minus 3. So in milliampere the amount of current is a 10, nothing else. It is a easy example. If you want, then write down or take a one screenshot. Now comes to the fourth number example. The voltmeter has a range 0 to V volt with a series resistance R. Okay, with a series resistance R. Voltmeter is there. We are converting galvanometer to voltmeter. When galvanometer is converted to voltmeter, at that time, when galvanometer is converted to voltmeter, a high resistance in series combination is connected with the galvanometer. Okay, and that resistance is a high resistance, and ideally its value is infinity. Voltmeter has a range of V volt when it is in when the series resistance is R. Okay, V volt when volt at resistance, V volt, resistance is R. Now the resistance is 2R. The range becomes a V dash. Then what is the correct relation? We have to find out the correct relation. In which combination? Here I am increasing the resistance. If I increasing the resistance, then it should be very simple. Potential difference is also increases, because the Ohm's law is used. V equals to IR. Current is emitted from the source, so constant quantity of current is going on. So as R increases, this V dash is also increases. Then how many times it should be increases? Now it will be very simple. It will be increases by 2 times. So you are the correct answer for that question. That is the last option. That is a V dash is greater than 2 times of V. V dash is greater than 2 times of V. That is the last. Now the 5 number question. The measurement of voltmeter in the following circuit is. If you observe the circuit very carefully, here the voltmeter is given 6 volt, that is the EMF of the cell, and there are the 2 resistors are given whose values are 60 and 40. Okay, and we have to find out the potential difference across the voltmeter. Now it is very simple that this circuit is the open circuit. Here the supply of the cell is given, it's a cell 6 volt. Below that voltmeter is given, and then the second part, then this is the second part in this two. Okay, this is my entire circuit. This is the 60 and this is the 40. These two are in a parallel combination. Okay, so whatever be the potential difference 6 volt, same reading is measured across this voltmeter, because remember that voltmeter is always connected in a parallel with resistor. Okay, मग व्होल्टमीटरची ॲक्च्युअल पोझिशन कुठं पाहिजे होती? इथं जर व्होल्टमीटर जर लावलं असतं तर रीडिंग वेगळं आलं असतं, पण व्होल्टमीटर इथं लावलं तुम्ही, त्यामुळे ह्याच्यामधनं किती वोल्ट बाहेर पडतात? तर 6 वोल्ट बाहेर पडतात. सेम ते मेजर करणार आहे. ओके, दिस इज अ रॉंग पोझिशन ऑफ व्होल्टमीटर. इथं काय पाहिजे होतं? तर करंट मेजरिंग डिव्हाइसेस आर ऑलवेज कनेक्टेड with the cell or with the battery, and the current measuring devices are always connected in series with the resistor, and volt or potential difference measuring devices are always connected in parallel with the resistors. तेवढं आपण लक्षात ठेवून घ्यायचं त्याच्यामध्ये. Now just I am telling you the 2 conversions which are very easy. The example number 6. 36 ohm galvanometer is shunted by resistance of 4 ohm. The percentage of the total current. आता हे थोडंसं क्लिक लक्षात ठेवून घेऊया, थोडीशी थेरी रिवाइज पण करून घेऊया. व्हेरी इझी पार्ट आहे हा. त्याच्यामधला दिस इज द गॅल्व्हनोमीटर अँड दिस इज माय शंट. टोटल करंट इज I. Small amount of current Ig is going through galvanometer. Is current passing through the shunt, and the total current is given by I equals to Ig plus Is. That is the total current. I equals to Ig plus Is. This is the theoretical part. Now galvanometer is converted to the ammeter. When galvanometer is converted to ammeter, a resistor of low value is connected in parallel with that galvanometer. Means here galvanometer and this resistor, which is in parallel combination, that is called as a shunt. Both are in parallel combination. These two resistors are connected here, and the formula, both are connected in parallel, so their potential difference is same. If their potential difference is same, then we have Vg equals to Vs. Vg is given by how much? Vc equals to Ig into G and Is into S. Now, in our example, related to shunt is given, so I am converting Ig in terms of shunt. So Ig equals to I minus Is. So I am writing I minus Is into G equals to Is into I. Now next part is very easy. I minus Is upon Is equals to S divided by G. Splitting the denominator. I upon Is minus of 1 equals to S by G. So I upon Is equals to S upon G plus 1. So Is upon I equals to, I upon Is equals to, I am increasing one step, I by Is equals to S plus G upon G. So Is divided by R equals to G upon S plus G. This is my required formula. Okay. Here the fraction of total current किंवा fraction of current असे विचारले की how much fraction of current passing through shunt असे विचारले त्यावेळेला मी फाइंड आउट करणार आहे Is upon I. How much fraction of current passing through galvanometer. फ्रॅक्शन ऑफ करंट कुणाचा आहे तर टोटल करंटचा, कारण टोटल करंट स्मॉल क्वांटिटी Ig मधनं जाणार आहे, स्मॉल क्वांटिटी Is मधनं जाणार आहे और शंट मधनं जाणार आहे. सो फ्रॅक्शन ऑफ टोटल करंट पासिंग थ्रू शंट मीन्स Is upon I is my total current, S plus G is my total resistance of the circuit. दोन रेजिस्टन्स आहेत. मग Is आहे त्यामुळे इथे शंट मधला करंट आहे, त्यामुळे राहिलेली टर्म मी इथे घेतली रेजिस्टन्सची G घेतली. सेम फॉर्म्युला व्हॉट फ्रॅक्शन ऑफ करंट पासिंग थ्रू गॅल्व्हनोमीटर जर विचारलं असेल तर देन Ig upon I equals to my formula becomes S upon S plus G. Total current, total resistance. Ig current through galvanometer, so I am using the shunt. That is my Is. Now here we are substituting the values. Now that is my example number 36. 6 number example I have. 36 ohm galvanometer is shunted by a resistance of 4 ohm. Okay, galvanometer's resistance is 36 and shunted by the resistance of 4 ohm. Now we have to find out Is upon I. So it will be very simple. Is by I equals to 36 by 40. Now we can easily find out 36 by 40 means, yes or no? It becomes a 9 by 10 multiplied by 100. So we are getting the correct answer. That, okay, 9 by 10 means we are getting the 9 by 10. 9 by 10, 9 by 10. It is, then we have to find out the, in terms of percentage, we are necessary to calculate in terms of percentage. Something is remaining. Just a minute. Okay. In my question, if I am not wrong, please check the 6 number question. A 36 ohm galvanometer is shunted by a 4 ohm resistance. The percentage of total current which passes through galvanometer means I am requiring this one. So 4 by 40, it becomes 1 by 10. So in terms of percentage, just we multiply by 100. After multiplying the 100, then we are getting the correct answer. The answer is 10%. Either just 100 to multiply करें, we are getting the total current. Now, necessarily to know the 2 more shortcuts, so we can solve the remaining examples. That that are very simple. First of all, we clear the ammeter part. We are getting the formula Ig upon I equals to remaining, that is S upon S plus G. S upon I equals to G divided by S plus G. These are my two formulas through which we can easily find out. Then S equals to G upon N minus 1. G upon N minus 1 means how many times we can increase the range of that ammeter and all the things in this way. Then the second part for the voltmeter. For voltmeter, not such part, only one thing. For voltmeter, R, that is a resistance is series combination. Its shortcut trick is R equals to G in bracket N minus 1. You are using these two Stegner formulae. We can solve easily the example number 9. Example number 9 we can easily solve. Example number 12 easily solve. Example number 13 easily solve. There is no any doubt. Example number 18, 19, 17, that examples are easily solved by this. Okay. Now the remaining examples. Are based on the internal resistance of the cell. Now the internal resistance of the cell. What is the formula for internal resistance of the cell? The internal resistance is symbolically expressed by small r equals to capital R in bracket L1. Yes, anyone know? Internal resistance small r equals to capital R in bracket L1 minus L2 upon L2. This is a formula for the internal resistance of the cell. Now use this formula and solve the examples. If the cell is same cell is given, and the values of R, capital R are changed, that is the external resistance are changed, then don't forget to solve such a type of examples. One thing is very clear, that internal resistance, in that case it should be a constant. Means value of R, it should be constant. Let's take some one example. If capital R, in the first case, capital R is a 5 ohm, L1 equals to, that L1 equals to 180 centimeter is given, and L2 is a 175 centimeter. In second case, capital R is not known, or capital R is given, let its value is a 10 ohm. Again, now the L1 is given, it's that value of L1 is a 170 centimeter, and L2 is given, it's a 160 centimeter, and the question asks what is the internal resistance of the cell. Now we are equating these two. First of all, for this L1 is capital R is not given, and find out the value of capital R. Then how you find out the capital R? Remember that the same cell is given, so the internal resistance it should be same. We have to substitute one set equals to another set, substituting the values. That is 5 equals to 5 in bracket L1 minus L2. It becomes a 5 divided by 175 equals to that R in bracket. This is a 170 and 160. So 10 divided by 160. Then we are getting the value of R. That R we are getting here. And then use this formula and find out the value of internal resistance. Means when the cell is same and there are two resistors are used, then easily we can solve this example. And nothing else for the meter bridge. Meter bridge is very simple for the meter bridge. Just we take one example related to the meter bridge, which is not difficult. No one feel the meter bridge examples are difficult, because meter bridge examples are very easy. Meter bridge examples, 27 number examples we can solve, which is on page number 15 number examples we can solve on 15 number example. The resistance in a two gaps of metal bridge are 10, and the example is, or formula is like this. Formula is R1 by R2 equals to L1 by L2. Unknown resistance is a equal deflection or null deflection method. Resistance of galvanometer or Kelvin's method is the unknown deflection is a null, unknown resistance is a null deflection, and resistance of galvanometer is a equal or same deflection method. Here the two resistances are given. First is resistance in left gap divided by resistance in right gap equals to length in left gap divided by length in right gap. The resistance in the two gaps of metal page are 10 and 30 ohm respectively. That are the left and right resistances are given. If the resistance are interchanged, the balance point shift will be. Now the first length is L1 and second length is 100 minus L1 because its main is already meter reach, so length is 100 centimeter. So in this case 1 by 3 equals to L1 upon 100 minus L1. So term becomes very simple. 100 minus L1 equals to 3L1. So 100 equals to 4L1. So L1 becomes 25. Now the resistances are interchanged. Now the resistance are interchanged. Means in left gap there is a 30 and right gap there is a 10. Now how you write this? Now we have to find out. Again this is a L1 and this is my 100 minus L1. So 3s/1 equals to L1 upon 100 minus L1. We are getting the two values of L1. From this side one is a 25 centimeter from left. From another side this is also from the left because left length, and solve this. It's a 300 minus 3L1 equals to L1. So 300 equals to 4L1. So L1 equals to 300 divided by 4. It's a 75 centimeter. So change in length becomes it is by a 50 centimeter. This is a shift and that is given, it's a 50 centimeter. In this way we can solve the examples on the meter gauge also. Okay. See, solve the examples. If you feel any difficulty, then ask without any hesitation. Okay. Now you stop here and all the best.